Leafs Talk, JD Bunkis, Sam McKee. For the first time in our lives, the Toronto Maple Leafs are Atlantic Division champions. They clinch with a 4-0 win over the Sabres. They got something done, brother.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm feeling great. I really, really am extremely happy with the way this has all worked out. Because I put out a meme, I memed hard before we started this show, that comparing the end of the last regular season for the Toronto Maple Leafs to the way that this regular season finished, there's no, like, night and day doesn't do it justice. I don't know what the biggest juxtaposition you can put together for those two things, but the way these two seasons ended couldn't have been more different. And the way that this ended, them winning the Atlantic, Mitch getting 100 points, Matthews getting 400, their playoff game one starter getting a shutout in the last meaningful game of the season. It's pretty incredible, all the stuff that's worked out for them. And, you know, the signs, we talked about signs last game. We talked about omens, like all the stuff coming together, all this power. I got to tell you, buddy, like, I don't want to say the scary words, but it may be different. It may be different. It may be different.
It might be different.
It may be different.
I won't deny that it might be different, but I will also not deny that I have said it might be different many times. I think the only time that I genuinely wrote them off was the Columbus year. It was the Ayers year. It was the COVID year. I just knew that they just did not have it. And I thought the only way that I could spin myself into thinking that they had a shot was that they had the break, because the vibes with that team were so dreadful that I thought that was the only good thing about COVID was the Leafs going away for a little while and talking yourself into the idea that maybe they found their games as they hung out in their condos and big mansions in Etobicoke, that they were going to be able, and ate food that everybody else also got fat and sassy. But yeah, no, I'm with you, man. It was a perfect finish to the season. Like, it was a joyous one. I think that, you know, if you're a Leafs fan, you're a little jaded by the regular season accomplishments, right? Like,
definitely.
Who cares about Mitch Marner hitting 100? Genuinely, I don't think that
he did. Obviously,
yeah, he did, and good for him. Like, I think people should be happy for Marner. He came into this season with a purpose to kind of show people that his game had gone up a level, and he had the Four Nations, and he had some clutch games this season in some big spots. So ultimately, him hitting 100, I'm happy for him that he doesn't have to sit on 99. But more importantly, I'm more thrilled about the idea that he doesn't have to play this week in another regular season game, that he can sit and they're not chasing a milestone, and that we have to have the conversation that we had. I'm happy for Matthews hitting 400, but as I've said, he scored so many goals that it's kind of, I don't lack appreciation for it, but these guys just have to do things in the postseason. And so when I see the milestone for Mitch, I'm thinking about it more like, okay, he's going to rest for the playoffs, and he's feeling good about his game going into the postseason, right? Bingo. When I see 400 for Matthews, I'm like, cool. He saw a puck go in the back of the net. Maybe that adds to his confidence going into the postseason. When I see Nick Robertson score late in the game, I'm thinking, nice. Don't care how much you score against the Sabres, but your line was working well all night, and you got rewarded for it. Do it in the playoffs.
Unsurprisingly, Nick Robertson owns the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah.
Definitely the team, the kind of team that he would own. Listen,
Flyers and Sabres, it would be my
Sharks
guess.
Too, for sure. But I don't want to, we don't need to do that tonight. But
his brother's team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. He always scores.
But can I tell you what I'm just like mostly happy about? It's just,
please.
I think, again, you know, we've lived long lives as Leaf fans now, right? We're old. I just saw that Kendrick Lamar's Damn came out 8 years ago. And I can remember the NBA playoffs where that Damn was the anthem, and remember where I was. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, we're ancient, brother. Like, we are 1 foot in the grave, you and I.
8 years is so depressing.
No, it's so dark. Like, buddy, we're a decade since Bat Flip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Right. That's
so
right.
Life is moving fairly quickly, and I'll say this. Obviously, I want it in the postseason, right? Like, I am very much in the crowd that my father used to say, where he said, just one before I die, just one before I die. Yeah. He died. My dad is dead. He did not see it. I don't want to be my dad. I want one. but we've had so few things to actually celebrate from a team standpoint. Like, I'm just going to enjoy this for now, man. I'm not planning the parade. I'm not losing my cool, my head here, but just like to win the Atlantic Division, a division that is shared with some of the best teams in the NHL. Like, it's a great day. It's a great day for the Leafs. Leaf fans should enjoy it because this has not happened. And I'm not going to pretend like, well, act like you've been there before. We haven't been here before. This is great.
No, it's a really great win. And guess what? Ottawa is not an ideal matchup. No question. But you don't have to play the Panthers. You don't have to play the Panthers. You don't have to worry about the Panthers until the second round or potentially Tampa in the second round. You're not dealing with either of those teams in the first round. And that for me is a massive win. Sure, Ottawa, chance to upset, no question. But Leafs will be big favorites heading into that. And it'll, I mean, not big. What do you think the line will be for the series going into that?
I think that
plus 125, plus 150 for the Sens.
No, like I'm looking at it through the Leaf standpoint, but I think the Leafs will be like minus 200 faves.
Really? You think that big?
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy. They finished first in the Atlantic. They're playing a wild card team that hasn't been in the postseason since 2017.
That's fair.
And plus, like, you also have to factor in, not to be Mr. Gambler here, but that the Leafs are going to take way more action than any other team. And so the book always accounts for that. So I would guess that it's going to be minus 200. That's probably already up.
So to not have to play against the Panthers, to not have to play against the Lightning, to go against a team that has never played in the playoffs before with a bunch of young players on it and an unproven goaltender who has had really good regular seasons and been dreadful in the postseason. Like, if you look at the splits between between Linus Ullmark's regular season and his playoff numbers, it's a stark difference. So, like you said, it's a huge win for Leaf fans everywhere. Just to have it be a little bit different, to have it cut up the monotony of all these different years where it's either Boston, it's either Tampa, it's one of these two teams. And now you win the division, you go in, you're starting at home, you're playing a lesser team. They've really set themselves up really well here. And we haven't been able to say that in the past. And, you got to give credit to a lot of people, but the coaching staff does deserve credit. It's been a different feel all year. And I have not agreed with much of the stuff that Craig Bruba's done all year, but give him credit for his consistency. He hasn't changed his tone the entire year. He hasn't really raised his blood pressure a whole lot the entire year. He's been a steadying picture. What's the word I'm looking for? A steadying presence. He's really, really been impressive this year, and he's won the division for the Leafs as the coach for the first time in this era. So kudos to him.
I think that's the thing for me, man, is like, again, I don't really want to we have plenty of time to do playoff matchup stuff. And like, that'll be on my show and your show. And if you're a new listener, a new watcher, like, subscribe to both the JD Bunkis podcast and Real Kipper and Born. You'll get me in the morning, but plenty of time to preview it. But I think that what you said there is what I'm taking some pride in for the Leafs right now, which is that they were really consistent. They had the one stretch this year where it was Nylander saying, what was it? It's only 4 games in a row, or it's only 3 games in a row.
What's the big deal? 3 games.
What's the big deal?
Yeah,
and then they had another stretch where it was the West Coast trip right before the deadline, where they got absolutely thumped by a bunch of teams. They lost to the Sharks, felt like a little bit of a tailspin, but ultimately this team was consistently the same product just about every single night. There were dips, there were lulls, there were nights where we criticized the top guys. There were times where we had referendums on the depth lines and what they needed, but ultimately they were a team that has defended the middle of the ice very well, has taken their chances on lower shot counts, but decided that they are going to have the more high danger chances, right? And they've had great goaltending all season long. And so from this game, I'm going to start with this, like, because we kind of talked about the Marner thing. It did feel like he was snake bit all game long. There were like a million chances for him, and I thought that he was going to sit on that. I kept feeling like, boy, the Sabres are going to tie this hockey game. And I even sent you the text of, I would respect it more if the Sabres didn't pull their goaltender, knowing that their season was done, because they hate the Leafs. They don't want Mitch Marner celebrating 100 in their barn. Like, no. Why would you just give it to him? So I was kind of thinking about that scenario. So good for Mitch, but the most important thing from this game, by a factor of 10 billion, is how sharp Anthony Stolarz looked in his final performance heading into the postseason.
Oh, yeah. This was a stamped, signed, sealed, delivered, beautiful love letter to the coach being like, hey, I'm the guy. You haven't made any wrong decisions. If you're thinking about me, I'm the guy. He was brilliant tonight, and he has been spectacular all season long. And I thought tonight, well, honestly, like in a year of a lot of really good performances, he made a bunch of really great saves, snapping around, rebound control, really good, seeing it through traffic. I don't know who the glove save on Tuck with like the double toe drag, and he's got to look through traffic. He snaps it into the air like it's nothing.
He was flying around in a good way.
He was just elite level goaltending for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, where they needed it. It was 1-0 for, it was 0-0 for a bunch of this game. It was 1-0 for a lot of this game until the last 5 minutes, 6 minutes when they scored the second goal. And I love watching them play. We've been Stolarz guys since preseason. Day one Stolarz guys. And our love has been paid off here. He's been spectacular. One of the Leafs MVPs this year. I'm so happy for him that he was this good tonight to seal the division. It was fitting that he was this good to seal the division for a team that's had a really good year.
Buddy, he got a win over the Panthers, which I felt like was a huge marker for him.
Definitely.
He shut out the Blues, right? Or sorry, what? Not the Blues. The Blue Jackets.
Yep.
Yeah, shut out the Blue Jackets. What was the other one?
He was it. I was in Hawaii, but did he beat Tampa?
Yeah,
on the second half of the back.
Yeah, just really good game against Tampa. Yeah. He was just awesome down the stretch. You can't even nitpick the slightest thing with Stolarz, and then gets a shutout where he was absolutely brilliant tonight. And yeah, I think that again, it was a lot of, hey, Leaf stuff from the outside, but he actually did make a ton of really good ones. He did the vintage Stolarz battling through traffic thing that I love probably more about him than just about anything else. His rebound control was excellent. And this is something actually, because I saw a clip from you guys today talking about how, well, you weren't talking about it. Berube had the clip of him talking about how, hey, we didn't give up second and third chances.
Yeah.
One of the things that doesn't get talked about enough when we're referencing the second and third chances is how good the goaltenders, both of them, the rebound control has been all season long.
Yeah.
And so when we're talking about this kind of stuff, it's like, how many times does Stolarz just kill the play or deflect it into a corner? How many times did they have even like real opportunities to get in on him for a secondary shot? He was brilliant. He was, like I said, the only word I can use for him tonight was sharp and ready. And there's some big games starting this weekend. And like, I just feel, it feels so amazing to go into a playoff series where you're totally confident in either guy. Right. Yeah.
Like we've been trying to talk ourselves into Samsonov for 2 years. And, like maybe Wall will get in. And maybe
Samsonov had shots with his dad. He's fixed.
Oh, yeah, he went to the gulag and did hammered vodka shots.
They threatened the KHL career, and he decided to get his act together. Yeah, no, this is way different.
They're just two of the best goalies in the league going into a playoff series, and it's just a great feeling, man. And listen, we talked about this a little bit today on No Kipper and Born as well, but you're watching it in this clip. We've talked about it before on this show. They are so much better at clearing the front of the net.
Yeah, like way better.
The front of the net, like they block shots like you're watching right now where, Benoit gets a skate on that one before it gets to Stolarz. There's not the second and third opportunities with guys whacking away in there. And like, when you talk about the identity and like the thing that he talked about with like weathering the storm, blocking shots and clearing the front of the net and limiting the quality of the chances. Like, listen, we've watched 8 years of them trying it the other way. Like we've watched the deserve-o-meter win Leafs. We've tried that. And I got to tell you, brother, it didn't really work out. So this way I'm willing to try. And I think Mike Johnson on the broadcast today made a really great point that, they were talking about how like some of the low scoring games in the playoffs or whatever. And he said that, but this year it's not a shock when you get there. It's not a shock that you're playing in these type of games. You've been playing in these type of games all season long. I thought that was an excellent point. It's true. It's going and playing a tight playoff game is not going to be weird for them because they've done it in every single game they played all year.
It's a lot of pressure on the goaltenders to make sure that you're limiting teams to 2 goals or less for essentially the entirety of the postseason, and basically the admission of we're not going to run up the score on any teams.
Yes.
But ultimately you feel good about that too, given the way, again, that this guy has played. And by the way, the retweets on some of these quotes must be astronomical right now. Luke Fox tweeting Stolarz on the Battle of Ontario, quote, "It's going to be a bloodbath," end quote. Stephen Lorentz understands the assignment.
Hate that from a goalie.
Oh, shut up.
You're not in the fight, man. You're not out there fighting the guy. Like,
he's like the toughest guy on the entire team. He's like the entire physical identity of the team is from him on the back out. Stephen Lorentz on the Battle of Ontario, quote, "Bring it on. I'm excited. There's a lot of passion," end quote. That's so good. Lorentz with another big goal tonight. Mr.
Clutch
Big Goal.
gene. Clutch gene,
the
man.
clutch gene is there. Okay. This is the other thing from this game. I know it's the Buffalo Sabres. All right. I get it. I know it's the Montreal Canadiens, and they're not like Montreal, all the credit to them. Much better team now. So exciting. Blew that game to Chicago last night, but I'm watching Demidov and going, oh my God, why couldn't Columbus have taken him at 4? Why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why?
Gotta tell you, buddy, there's some hush-toned conversations going around amongst Leaf fans about the Habs right now. There's some hush-toned conversations, so your Hab fan buddy doesn't hear. Let's just say
I hate that they got that kid and that they got him at 5. It's deplorable behavior from the general managers that were ahead of the Montreal Canadiens.
They got new Kucherov. Sick. Continue.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it felt like anyway, whatever. They've by the way, Stephen Lorentz, closing thought, best PTO guy since Mason Raymond.
I was gonna say Michael Neuwirth was my favorite PTO guy.
That was your PTO guy.
No,
yeah,
he never played. It's a joke. He never.
No, but Mason Raymond came in and scored some goals. See, he had a moment. There were Mason
20?
Raymond fans. I think he honestly might have scored 20. I thought the same thing, but my brain stopped me from saying it, going, there's no way that Mason Raymond scored 20. But yeah, anyway.
Hockey Day. Well, continue. I'll
incredible season from a guy who signed a PTO, and people loved, and there was already like, he was not a pure PTO because there were shenanigans afoot clearly with him and the Toronto Maple Leafs. The guy has the passion. He wanted to be here. There was grumbling from other hockey people. 19 goals for Raymond. He sat just short. Damn, but still, we had that memory right.
Good PTO. 45 points in 82 games. Yeah. That's a hell of a PTO.
Like I said, that was the best PTO, and now it's Stephen Lorentz. He's in the conversation on the Mount Rushmore of PTOs for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And way more clutch gene. Way more passion, way more clutch gene for Stephen Lorentz. There's no doubt about it. But sneakily, these last 2 games, I'm very curious to see come playoff time if they're going to roll these suckers out, because I think that they look good. I didn't love the second line tonight. I just still feels, I'll be honest, it just feels like wherever you put Domi is not good, but whatever. The third and fourth lines, the third line was dangerous. They were buzzing all night. Lawton looks like a player who's got a little bit more purpose, had a chance, sets up the Lorentz goal.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm liking the third and fourth lines.
Yeah. I really do think that there's a world, like, I don't guess he can't do it because he makes no money, but where the lineup's better without Domi in it. Like, just straight up,
I plead the fifth on this.
Okay. I'll say it. I guess I'll be the.
No, I agree, obviously.
Oh yeah. But like, you just, you have put McMahon up in that spot and you have Kampf coming back. You mix Pacioretty in here. Like they obviously would never do that. But no, you've made the second line worse. Like it just there's no fit. We've talked about this every Leafs talk. Maybe it's not the negative night to do it, but like we've talked about it, but there's just no fit. And the third
there's
line,
only one fit.
It's the top line.
If Marner leaves, he subs in as Marner extra light.
Yeah, exactly right. So
actually, it's like he's not even the light beer version. It's like the non-alcoholic beer. But it has like an ounce.
Canoe that had like 3% beer in it. If 3% in it, that's him.
Yeah. Crack Canoe. That's
He's like a shandy. He's like a shandy.
Yeah. Correct. So anyway, I would say that I still feel a lot of confidence in that line finding something. And at least with Domi, with some of the plays, he's got the playmaking with 2 other guys. But ultimately it is a little concerning for him that the best the second or the third and fourth lines have looked is when you pulled him out of the mix there.
And I hate that line defensively, the second line, when it's with him on it. Like that tuck chance tonight where the double toe drag, Tavares gets lost, Domi comes out swinging his stick around, no purpose. It's just like, oh boy, you could definitely picture this like in a third period of a big game. These guys come over the boards and you get hemmed in and you take a penalty or one goes in. Like you can just see the recipe for those guys. But we'll see what happens. We'll absolutely see what happens, but I haven't loved
But
it.
don't you agree though that those two lines look pretty quality? Again, it's
like
Sabres.
Definitely. But like I think that's 2 straight good games from Lorentz.
Yeah.
Or is it 3 straight good games from Lorentz?
3.
Lawton and Yarncroc. They were good against
they
Carolina.
played really good against Tampa.
Yeah.
And Carolina.
Yeah.
They've Montreal. That's 4.
I really don't think you change that. And it seems like they got a bit of an identity. It seems like they can cycle the puck a little bit. Seems like they can buzz around a little bit. Lorentz will run into you. Lawton, who got hammered by Darlene tonight, will get he'll get physical. And listen, Yarncroc's Yarncroc. And if he's playing down your lineup 13, 14 minutes a night, that's totally fine. But I just I hate when he gets up into the top 6. But as a bottom 6 guy, fine. Totally fine playing along those sides, those guys. And you can picture that being a capable line in the playoffs. So like it.
Brother,
I do
it's
like
literally just Kerfoot.
It is. He's Kerfoot. He's so much like Kerfoot. It's insane.
Yeah.
Maybe a little better finisher, like a touch better.
Yeah, a little better finisher, a little worse defensively.
Yeah, bingo. So
like
Yarnfoot.
Hey, is he a center? No. Is he a winger who stands out? No. Can he
Does he make $3.5 million or $3 million? Oh no, what's he make? 2.5? He makes in the $3 million range. Yeah.
Is it a kind of a punt hope when he's on the ice? Yes. Just don't take a dumb penalty 200 feet from your net in a huge spot like Kerfoot did.
You know what it is? He's such a Dubas player. A Dubas player.
Yeah.
He really is.
One of the last remnants.
He really is. Anyways.
Yeah. What's next? I don't know. Let me see.
I wanted to highlight something that I've noticed over the last little bit with the Leafs, and I don't know how long it's been. It's anecdotal, but I will say over the last little while for extreme anecdotalness. But Matthews' passing has gotten so much better. He has become a really, really good passer, and I thought it was punctuated tonight by the pass. And if we can roll the goal that Marner scores, like this is a all-world McDavid-esque pass that he makes to Marner. These guys have great chemistry. They know where they're going to be on the ice. He takes a quick peek here when he's in the battle, knows he's going to be there as the puck rims back around here. But like that's all world. That's a tap in for his 100th point. But I just thought it kind of punctuated how much better at passing he's been in the last little while and how much more willing of a passer he's been. You know, when he does that wraparound and just kind of tries to jam it in, he's been doing a lot. And maybe it's because Nyes gets to the middle of the ice a lot more now and he's in the sweet spot a lot more. It feels like they have a bit of chemistry around there. But his passing around the net, man, I've been really impressed because that's always, I mean, he's had way more goals than assists in every single season. And, goal scoring is the name of the game. That's what the point of it. But you want your number one center to be able to pass and do this kind of stuff. And I thought that was a brilliant pass. I just love the way he's been dishing it recently.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. And also that is what you get with chemistry with with 3 guys who've played all season together.
Yeah, that's fair.
We've been advocating for them to be broken up. And I still think that one of the shames of a scenario where Marner leaves in the offseason is that we never got a look of a true spreading of the talent.
Yeah.
But the benefit you get is that there's so much feel there from Matthews where he just knows where the guy's going to be. And he's also playing with someone talented enough to make sure that he gets to that spot.
Yep. And I just, like I said, I think Nyes is his ability to cinder block himself in between the hash marks and just stand there and not be moved has a big reason why passing into the slot has been a lot easier for Matthews and Marner. Like, I don't think, you got to give Nyes, like, listen, playing with those 2 guys is pretty sweet. Like, you're going to have a great year, but I don't think you can undersell the role that Matthew Nyes has had on that line.
I don't think anybody has.
No, he's really, really opened it up for them. And God, right at the end of the game, I don't know how much time was left, but
Nyes was a dog tonight too. Again, he was hunting pucks, trying to get
fall on the penalty kill when he was skating hard and he kind of got tied up. I don't know who was with he got tied up with, and he just crashes into the end boards. I'm like, oh my God. Like that is just watching that game on Thursday night. Like, how are they they can't rest anybody because they're right up against the cap. Like, I think top line, Kipper said on the show today, top line should go on the bench in their gear and flip flops so that the coach isn't tempted to put them on the ice. Like, I just think they don't play 1 minute.
Yeah.
Holmberg, 30 minutes on Thursday.
Yeah. You're just punting, like punt. It's totally meaningless.
10 forwards, 8 D-men, and just put this is where
team guys didn't show up tonight. You're thin.
This is where the cap thing is stupid. It's just, you should be able to rest players. You should be able to call up an like is this the way it is in the NBA, or like the way, like if you're at the end of a season, can't you call up like multiple G League guys? But I guess
NBA is
everybody
not a
rests every
hard
night
cap.
anyway.
NBA is not a hard cap. You get like, again, you're asking a dumb idiot about CBA questions.
Yeah, I know.
But what I do know is that you get a lot of different provisions, a certain amount of like 10-day contracts you can sign, certain amount of guys that go over the 10 days. But they've got different benefits in the NBA that allow for this to happen. I'm torn on it from the standpoint of like, I don't want to see a world where regular seasons have load management like the NBA, where it feels so unimportant. The way, like, man, the NBA playoffs are starting this week, and I'm a huge basketball guy. I think everybody that follows my show knows that. I'm in my office right now. I'm sitting under 2 frame posters of my childhood idols who are basketball players.
Yeah.
But like, they did this montage for the postseason today, and I was so excited for it. And I went, God, it's been a while since, like, this is all the NBA is now, is just waiting for the playoffs.
For sure. And so you're right. Like, you can't have it be that you can rest guys because teams would do it throughout the year with the cap stuff. Like, I understand that. But like last week of the season provision should be something.
I'm with you. No, it sucks. It sucks.
Golden Knights sent the Henderson Silver Knights to Calgary tonight because their cap picture is way better than the Leafs. So they're able to do it, which I guess that's credit to them for managing their cap better. But like,
credit to them for living in a no-tax state.
Huge. I think you should be able to not play Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews and John Tavares, William Nylander in a big game. I mean, in a meaningless game, so you can save them for the big games. It gets stupid.
Like I said, I wouldn't play him. I don't know what it is. I've got cap expert James Myrtle on tomorrow to give me the lowdown on it. I haven't actually looked into what they can do tomorrow. What they can do on Thursday night. That's the last game.
Thursday night against the Red Wings.
Yeah. So I don't know what they can do, but yeah, you want to take guys out. I haven't felt like, man, the end of the season, I'll tell you, there's some stuff that does suck. Like, did you watch the Oilers Kings game last night? Probably not, but did you see the highlights?
I saw some of it. The B squad.
Yeah, but dude, like, Darnell Nurse, they should have put him in prison for that. Like, he should have gotten suspended. Like, the guy's clearly throwing a cross-check into the head of a guy that he's going to see in the postseason.
Going to get suspended. It hasn't been decided yet. But he should get 2. He should get 2 games. He should get the last game of the year plus 1 playoff game. It was a rotten play. Totally agree.
Yeah, but that's the fear you have facing a team like Detroit, where they just have nothing to lose. And I don't know, it just takes one guy to hate one guy and do something stupid. And so that's why I'm saying staple to the bench. Forfeit. Like, you're the Leafs. Pay the fine for the forfeit. Pay the fans of the gate that you're missing for.
They'd make the fans pay $500 to sit in there and watch a movie. Like, you can watch a montage of our season for $500. Beers are only $13 tonight.
No, I'm saying the Leafs cover the costs. They just throw a party, forfeit night. Leafs cover the costs. You're rich. This is like Tim Robinson. Just do it. You're rich.
No, it's going to be, that's going to be one that I just don't watch. You know, I guess I have to do Leafs talk, but like, just don't watch.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I will say, stay tuned, because I don't think there's a chance that we might do a no Leafs talk after that game.
So, rapid fire.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we play, I guess, Marner digging the puck out of the net for Matthews' 400th, Luke? Because Rasmus Dahlin, who we were texting about,
it was a 90-mile-an-hour blast. Paterka that time tried to feather one in front. Leafs intercept with an empty net. Here comes
no. Honestly, I was too busy. Texting you guys like, God, they still care so much about milestones.
You're too jaded, man. You're too jaded. Anyways, I don't know if we have the highlight or not. But when Marner goes to dig the puck out of the net for Matthews' 400th, Dahlin, who is clearly so sour and talked about how much he hates the booing and like he's a dog competitor and like huge fan. He almost accidentally kills Marner. Like who did punch the ref in the face by accident? Was it Garnett? Or did he almost punch the ref in the face by accident? Or or Vokoun got slashed in the face. But like, it was really close. And I'm just saying, really happy that didn't happen.
All you just made me remember was Dennis Weidman faking that, like trying to murder that ref.
I was concussed.
Yeah, I was concussed. I didn't see you there. I was like, oh, it's an accident. It was a big old accident. That was an all-timer because I was just trying to rifle through the memories of the accidents. Yeah, Dahlin loves that too. Like he's a stick breaker on the post.
Here's what I'll say.
That's not the first time he's done that against the Leafs.
I have no idea why a Buffalo Sabres fan would ever be watching this show, but I'm about to piss him off. Free that man. Free that man. Get him out of there.
Well, they got one more year.
No, it's next. He's next Eichel. He's next Sam Reinhart. Yeah. He's the next in the line. He's the next Cousins in line of guy.
I was going to say, don't say Cousins because I'm still hoping for at least, listen, he's Whitehorse. He's got son status.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it's like, you know who I am? I'm Nazem Kadri's dad, where he would go to the Leafs games in his Habs sweater.
I respect that.
I respect it.
I would do the other way around too. If my son lives in the Habs, wear my Leafs sweater, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Is I'm that watching Dylan Cousins. Like, sorry, buddy. I hope there's a story about how you were very unclutch.
But he's such a good player and he's such a dog competitor. And every game I watch him play in, he's nasty and he was really good the Four Nations. Like, he's an excellent hockey player and he's wasting away. Like when are they good? When are they good? Like what's their building plan? Like what are they?
Well, their blue line is eventually supposed to have him in power, which is
sure.
Like a very enviable top pairing.
Sure.
But yeah, ultimately, no, they're lost and
they're an embarrassing
they
franchise. It sucks because
and
you want that to be a good rivalry and it's just not.
Buddy. They did the Raptors move of rack up the wins late in the season when it doesn't count and be like, look, positive signs.
8 of 9 when they're out of it. Sick.
Yeah. Nightmare. Like all you want to do as a fan when you're a Sabres fan at this point is to be able to check your app, check the Sportsnet app and see that you lost.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That's your relationship with that team.
Yeah, that's all
lost
it is.
Again.
We lost. No one catastrophically hurt. Nice. All you see every time you open that up. I can tell you because that was the experience I had with the Raptors. Was flipping over, being like, okay, who's playing tonight? Oh my God, they're beating the Wizards. No, you idiots. You're supposed to lose to the Wizards. Find a way to lose to the Wizards. They let the Sixers jump them in the reverse standings.
Let's not talk about the Raptors.
Imagine the Sixers get Cooper Flag.
Yeah, I'd be so mad. Be the maddest guy ever.
They signed Embiid and Paul George to those contracts, and then all of a sudden they just get completely bailed out with Cooper Flag.
No, thank you.
And the Raptors were like, well, Jamal Shed was averaging 8 points a game. And that was like, no.
Yuck.
I can't have it.
Any Jays thoughts tonight, buddy? Anything else on you? Good win for the Jays.
Yeah, it was a good win for the Jays. Tony Taters, he finally lifted one out of the yard. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Tony Taters has arrived. That's officially your welcome to Toronto. He hit one in Baltimore. It's like, cool, that's your park. You were still at Oriole hitting a home run there. You hit a home run in Toronto. You're a Blue Jay now.
So the last thing I wanted to bring up quickly, because it's relevant to the jersey story about the Blue Jackets and the Habs that we were talking about earlier. Jackets win tonight in regulation 3-zip. And then Habs have to play tomorrow against Carolina at home. I'm sure it'll be But then, if
they just need 1 point.
If they lose in regulation, then that sets up the Isles and Columbus. Our Jackets, baby. Donnie Waddell, personalized jersey. Hey, listen, we're looking for signs. They should be looking for signs from Toronto, the Columbus Blue Jackets fan. The saga of that jersey is the greatest omen for every Jackets fan everywhere. So good for them. I hope they make it. Yeah.
This is blasphemous, but I don't cheer for the Canadian teams in the playoffs, but I want the Habs in.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay, Mr. I like money.
No, I just, no, bro, I talked about this on my show. I'm so happy that the Battle of Ontario is happening. Yes. Is there potential for heartbreak? Absolutely. But the Battle of Ontario stoked my passion for the Toronto Maple Leafs were always like my dad's thing and his friend's thing in terms of I was glomming onto it, right? Like I wanted to hang out with my dad and I want to hang out with my grandpa and watch hockey games as a kid. And I played hockey and that was my team and I watched them, but it was the Battle of Ontario is when the Leafs became my thing, you know, being at school, high school with Sens fans and getting into it with people and just caring so deeply about these games. And my greatest, obviously Canada gold at the Olympics 2010 is number one. You know, I've got a Super Bowl with my favorite football team, but those playoff wins against Ottawa, you could put that up against anything that I have, and it's the most cherished thing I have. And so for young Leaf fans to get to be a part of this, even though the game has changed and there's so much that's different now, like, I'm so stoked on this, man. I'm so stoked to have all my Ottawa Valley family just in my tax, you know, like, this is what sports is all about. It's connecting people, the conversations that we have with one another, and having the Montreal Canadiens and the Ottawa Senators be relevant. It's just like, I don't care about Ohio. Go watch the Buckeyes, you know, like Montreal having the Habs, sick. I don't want them to be cellar dwellers missing the postseason. I want them in. I want them to care. I want their hearts to be broken because they care.
Sure. Okay, that's a fair angle. But it is amazing that we're getting Battle of Ontario. It really is.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's
really
so
is.
good.
It's like clearly the reason that it's so terrifying for a lot of Leaf fans is that there's actual stakes to losing. Well, yeah, but listen, buddy, there may be some younger Leaf fans that are watching this show that don't correctly remember the regular season ownership the Ottawa Senators had over the Toronto Maple Leafs before the playoffs started. It was every year that they beat the brakes off the Leafs in the regular season. And then once the playoffs started,
I was at those games.
Cujo and Ed Belfour turned into absolute freaks of natures and stole multiple series for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And listen, Leafs have two very good goalies. A similar recipe could be coming up here. It's going to rock. It's going to rock. And the only problem is it's starting on Easter Sunday. That's the only problem. That's the only problem for me. Saturday night, maybe. Give me Saturday night, please.
Well, again, they have to cater to America. They gotta. Gary Bettman's like, don't care, take you for granted, hate your guts, Canada. Just want America to care. So Dallas Stars Saturday night.
You got what you get. You got what you get there, Gary. With Boston, New York, Chicago, and Detroit all out of the playoffs. The four American original six teams out. Yeah. You got your beloved parity, buddy. The teams that nobody cares about make the playoffs. All the no state tax teams, all the warm state teams. You made your bed, Gare.
No, but
lay in it.
What he wants. He loves it. He loves the no state tax hot weather cities being in the postseason.
Also, we got to go here. We've been rambling on, but what's even the ideal Stanley Cup final?
I mean,
right? Like
Oilers.
No, but for American audience, no shot.
For American audience?
Just in general. Clearly it's Leafs Oilers for us. I mean, like, I got dollar signs in my eyes thinking about that, but like, you know, the Gary Bettman's dream final. Is it Washington?
No,
somebody?
So I still think that, weirdly, I still think it's Edmonton because McDavid was just there and you could sell the Star being back in the finals more so than like the Kings. Like Colorado? We've already had the Kings win Stanley Cups.
Colorado?
You think the Stars? We've had the Stars. Yeah. Colorado? We've had Colorado. Yeah. Like the teams that have done it or there have done it. So no disrespect, but like nobody cares. Nobody's getting up for any of those teams. They're still getting up for Connor McDavid. And we've seen this before, whether it's like the joking stuff, but Americans that watch sports, they have the conversation of like, will Connor McDavid ever win the big one? Like that's a compelling convo to sell to the Americans. Mm-hmm. And then this is weird, but no Leafs because the torture and people would know that the Leafs, it's the same in the States as it is in Canada, brother.
Yeah, I guess it's relevant there too. Like, I mean, it's the Rory thing. It's like the lovable loser.
Exactly. It's that people could jump on the high of Rory and try to do it with hockey.
Luke, I love you, but the Leafs aren't going to play Ovi in the final. They're both in the Eastern Conference.
No, Leafs over Ovi angle. He's saying like the
no, I'm an idiot. No, I would,
buddy. Luke, I was gonna say Luke knows more about hockey than you. No,
I tried to be a smarty pants and I made myself look like an idiot.
But I do think that would be the other one is like Ovi being there. Yes. You're right. Like it's not anybody else. It's Toronto. Listen, it's the center of the hockey universe, Toronto, the most fans in the world. Yes. Best fans in the world. Only the worst ones that go to the arena.
So you're telling me that it isn't Carolina Dallas? That's the dream scenario? Yeah. Not Carolina Dallas?
Okay. No, that's like the Cap's not going up anymore, actually, guys.
We're actually
Turns out there's something worse than COVID. No fans in the arena, but this was it. Anyway, all right. Subscribe to our podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, please follow the podcast on Spotify or on Apple. It really helps us out. Leave a thumbs up. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at JD Bunkis, at Sam A. McKee. You can watch us throughout the postseason on our other shows at the JD Bunkis podcast and Real Kipper and Born. And yeah, I'm fired up. Battle of Ontario, baby. Bring it on. As Stephen Lorentz said, he's got the passion. So do I. Bring it on.
Let's go.